Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Sister, your people pleasing is not pleasing anybody. Anybody. You know, I find more and more the conversation inside the sisterhood, which if you're not in the sisterhood already, you can actually hang out there for 7 days and to see all the awesomeness inside of this spectacular group coaching program with women that are like you, so you don't have to feel like you are all alone because you are not sister. You can go ahead and do that over at drkarenosborne.com/sisterhood. You can read all the stories of the women whose lives are being impacted from this powerful group. But whether it was a conversation in the one of my weekly trainings in the sisterhood today, or online, or women that other clients that coach with me or have commented on podcasts, is this whole notion of trying to make everybody happy. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. Crazy. That somehow that is like the end game, right? Just make everybody happy. I don't want to rock the boat. When it's like, I know that you logically get this, right? That you logically get that it isn't possible to do what you're suggesting. That even if somehow you could kind of pull it off a little bit, let's say like politicians, right? A lot of politicians. I'm going to show up this way for this group, and I'm going to be this for this other group, I'm going to say this for this other group. Like, you will not know who the fuck you're supposed to be in any given moment, because you're never being who you are. You're trying to be who you think you're supposed to be to make other people happy. And then here's the craziest shit. You will jump through all these hoops to make other people happy in your life. Your mom, your siblings, your dad, your friends, your children, your coworkers, your clients. You will do all these things to try to make your husband, to try to make them happy. And then when it doesn't happen, what happens? What do you then think? Oh, fuck, it's not enough. I'm never enough. I'm not enough. And then comes, your favorite trio, guilt, blame, and the biggest one, shame. You know the difference, right? Guilt's like, I feel badly about this. Shame says, I am bad. That's the difference. Right? It's like guilty's like, fuck, I did this thing. Like, it's not a bad thing to feel guilt if you're just, so for example, last night, I literally screamed at my kids. I was, no excuse. I was about to actually give you excuses, but give you context. Like, been traveling all day. My husband's not home. They were really pushing bedtime, but no fucking excuses. None. And I screamed at my kids. I was just like, rah! I need some space. Just kind of walked away. Kai got really quiet. Tyson's kind of crying. I let myself go down for about 5 minutes. Then I went downstairs and I cleaned it up. Now listen, did I feel some guilt about that? I actually did, and I don't feel it often. I'll notice myself in a moment, whether it's with my kids or with my husband or other people. I'm just like, dude, you know what? That was wrong what I just did. I have to clean it up. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. That was not okay. I'm quickly to go, I'm one of the first people to go to that. I just am. I recognize that when I make a mistake, because everybody does, and that's it, and clean it up. But did I feel guilty about that? Yeah, I did, actually. Hearing my 7-year-old cry. Yeah, I felt guilty about it. It did not feel good. But I didn't say I am a bad mom. See, that's the difference. That would be the shame. Oh, I'm such a bad mom. I was just like, fuck, I lost my cool. It was not good. Cleaned it up. That's it, right? But when you people please, you're never going to be enough. And so not only are you feel like you're busting your ass and running yourself in the ground, trying to make everybody around you happy, because you never accomplish it, you will go to a place of not just guilt, which is, again, guilt's okay at times, but it's shame. Oh my God, I'm not enough because I can't do all these things. And then on top of that, when you people please, trying to make everybody else happy, you put all of your needs to the ground. Or they're not even on the list of priorities, right? They're off the table. Taking care of you, getting enough sleep, moving your body, hitting the gym, putting food that actually fuels you into your body. doing the things that you need to, which makes you you, which makes you be able to have the energy and the vitality and the passion and the clarity that happens when you care for yourself. It's like you're so out of alignment when you're trying to please other people. It is a place that, again, so many of you do it. And listen, I know, like, it's like with the best intentions, like, oh, I just want them to be happy. I just want, listen, everybody's happiness is up to them. It's not up to you. I talked about this today on the sisterhood training that I had, and I was like, I said, I've even teached, like, my son, like, don't do things to try to make me happy. I noticed him at the age of 7 trying to people please. So what happened with Tyson is, like, so he's taking soccer right now. You know, he's really starting to express more interest in wanting to do more sports and that kind of stuff. And he was like, soccer. I'm like, okay. Right now he does swimming 2 days a week. And we have him do private lessons with one-on-one with the coach, which is working great. Because the group lessons were just not working for Tyson. He's just all over the place, distracting the kids. Like, he's not even learning, right? So we took him out. We did the private classes. We're like, oh, this is great. He's learning like crazy. He loves being in the water now. Like, he loves to swim and he was afraid of it. Like, it's been great, right? We just realized something didn't work, and we're like, let's try this instead, and it's working great. So we wanted to do soccer. I'm like, ooh, there's a group class again. I'm like, okay, let's do soccer, buddy. Signed him up, went to the first class, fucking shit show. It's all over the place. He's hanging on the goalpost. It's like a big class too, right? I'm like, okay, maybe Tyson's kind of tired. So I was like, buddy, listen, like, you can't do these things, and, you know, talk to him about it. Okay, mommy, next week, same thing. I'm like, fuck it. And then I got mad. I was like, Tyson, you know what? You can't do these things. It's disrespecting the other kids that really are here to learn. You're disrespecting your coaches by not paying attention and trying to jump on their backs. Like, he just wants to kind of play and wrestle, and, you know, he's not being a kid where he's, you know, he's hurting the other kids, or he's not, you know, mouthing back to the coaches. Like, it's none of those things. He's just being a goofy kid. He's being himself, really, is what it is. So this week was class number 3, right? I think it's like a couple months we're doing this with him. And he didn't want to go. And he's like, Mommy, you're going to be mad at me. And I said, you know what, buddy? I go, here's the thing. Mommy's thought about this. And you know what? Your coaches are okay with you still being in. Like, it was Mommy saying, like, well, you're not coming back again, because I got pissed at him last week. And so I said, listen, I go, son, I want you to go and you have fun. He's like, I'm going to mess up again. And because Tyson's dyslexic, it's really, you know, the focus issue is like, it's a real thing for him in the way his brain works. And so there's different tools that we've learned to really help. And so we talked about what are some of the tools that we can use and what are some strategies. And I just said, Tyson, I go, listen, the biggest thing for me is I just want you to go and have fun. I don't want you to be mad at me, Mommy. I go, buddy, you have my word. I will not be mad at you. Whatever happens, happens. I said, I don't want you to think that because something's difficult, you should stop doing it. If you really want to do it, we'll find a way to make it work, buddy. Like, we got this. So I went to the class. Now it's an hour, and while he's at soccer, at least for the first half hour, I've got a half hour with 35, 40 minutes. I'm with Kai, and he's in a swim class. We're at the same, like, rec center, so I have them both at the same time. And so Kai and I got back. We watched about the last 10 minutes, and there's Tyson again. He's a little over the place. He's not as much as he was the previous week. But then he came up to me afterwards. He's like, Mommy, did you see me? And I go, buddy, I did. Oh, I'm so proud of you. You focused it. And this is what he said to me. He goes, check this out. He goes, Mommy, are you happy? And I go, yeah, Tyson, I'm really proud of you. He's like, oh, good. He was kind of relieved, right? I'm like, uh-oh, here we go, people pleasing. I just said, I go, Tyson, here's the deal. Number one, Mommy gave you a word that I wasn't going to be mad at you, right? I'm just happy that you went ahead and you did the class because you really want to do it. And even though you're finding it a hard time to pay attention, you get distracted easily, like, you know, we'll figure it out. And you actually figured out even a better way to do it today, right? Like, it was better than the last week. It's like, yeah, it was. And I said, here's the other thing I want you to know. Don't ever do anything to make anybody happy but yourself. And I said, I love you, and I know you love Mommy, and you did this because you like Mommy to be proud of you, and that's a beautiful thing. But don't ever do something to make me happy. You do things to make you happy, Tyson. And you only do things in your life that make you happy. And you don't make yourself unhappy to make others happy. See, I know, because I could see him starting to go there even at the age of 7, right? Now, do kids often want to please their parents and their teachers? Like, sure, kind of thing, right? But honestly, him beginning to understand this early, this is the gift. This is to me is the gift in parenting, is being able to teach these little souls early, right? And not have to like unpack all the shit that we often have as adults, including people pleasing. So here's what I want you to do as your more tip for today's sister. I want you to open up your journal and write down where I'm people pleasing in my life is at the top of your page and start writing. Here's the second piece of this. I want you to write down the answer to this question. What is your people pleasing costing you? Emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, what is it costing you to make others happy? To think that their happiness is dependent on you. You're trying to save them. That's lovely. But people kill the saviors. They don't glorify them, they fucking demify them. They throw them under the bus. And on top of that, you rob them of the responsibility of being responsible for, let me kind of reword this a little bit. You rob them of the opportunity of owning their life by thinking that other people will like somehow have an effect on their happiness. Like, well, they did this and therefore I'm happy. Or they didn't do this and therefore I'm unhappy. Well, that sucks. What a fucking horrible way to live life. Your emotional state is based on what other people do or don't do or say or don't do. What the hell? So where are your people pleasing your life and what is it costing you, and see what insights really come up from this exercise. So today's sister, I mentioned the sisterhood. You need to fucking be in there. You're going to hear me talking a lot about the sisterhood. Listen, the changes that I've seen happen in that group over the last year and 2 months since I launched the sisterhood, end of February 2017, have been like absolutely fucking amazing. You're going to see, even just post women put in there all the time. Outside of the weekly trainings that's part of the sisterhood and the group coaching experience, outside of the daily sisterhood tips, outside of the bonus trainings that are within there as well, and the 50, as I record this podcast, archive trainings that are there for when you come to the sisterhood. You have all of this content to be able to consume, be able to have all of this for such a minimal amount, and you get to try it out for the first 7 days for just $1. You were worth $1, sister. And you don't have to be alone in this process. Like, allow me to save you some time and not have you take 4+ decades of your life like I have to figure this shit out. All this time, invested all of this money in coaches and counseling and therapy and coaches. Did I mention more coaches? And live event experiences. All this stuff I'll continue to invest in me. But I can definitely shorten this up for you, sister. Let me teach you what I've learned. So this is all inside the sisterhood. So head over to drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood. You can sign up for your $1 7-day trial today. So that's number 1. Number 2, there's new gear in the Women Wanting More store. So cool. It's the new Queen and King collection. I'm actually wearing one of the Queen t-shirts. They are now in 2 different sizes of t-shirts. There's the kind of I call it like the slim fit. We're going to call it the girly fit. A little bit more form-fitting fit. That's the way I love to wear shirts. And there's also one which is called a boyfriend fit, which is still flattering, but it's a little bit roomier. And so there's 2 types of tees you can do for all of the t-shirts. Tanks are already like nice and roomy. But there's now the new King and Queen. And so there's men's items. Yes, men for the king in your life. So for the men, there's t-shirts, there's mugs, and there's trucker hats. Women, it's all the same. And then women also have a beanie with the word Queen on ours and King for your man. So you can go shop the King Queen collection and all the other items that you'll see there with the t-shirts and the tanks and the hats and the mugs over at shop.womenwantingmore.com. Make sure to enter in, let me see, what is the keyword I've got then for here? Podcast for the discount code. You'll get 10% off your entire order and still free shipping, which is on me. So shop.womenwantingmore.com, and you can be able to wear who you are. And then number 3, make sure to subscribe to the Women Wanting More newsletter right now. Like seriously, right fucking now. If you're on your phone, click on the I on your iPhone, open it up, click on where it says newsletter, and subscribe. I'm going to send you the More For Action Guide, which is how to start your day in power, which I do every single day, which I teach my clients who do every single day. And in addition, I'm going to give you 2 different videos that were only inside a private group, which, by the way, this private group no longer has access to them. I only gave them access for like 2 days, and then I removed the video. But I was like, man, these were so good. I'm going to save it for something, and I'm saving it for this. So by being part of the Women Wanting More tribe and newsletter and getting VIP access, you're also getting access to these 2 very, very special video trainings, which were on how to drop your stories and how to create new ones and really remember who you are. So to subscribe to the newsletter, head over to drkarenaz.com/action guide. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.